Welcome to Mr. Polano's in-person online class where you come to class but learn online. Try not to think about that statement or title too much because if you do, it'll make about as much sense as this picture in front of you. First off, I just want to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry about the way that things are going this year and the direction that they have to take. And I know that learning this way, online using videos, is not ideal. In fact, it's really far from it. Normally, we'd go through instructions like these in PowerPoints as a class, where each person would take turns reading part of it out loud. Hopefully at some point later in this year, we can do this as a class together. However, for now, this method has some key advantages. Among these advantages, first and foremost, is consistency. How you learn is not going to change whether you're in my classroom or at home in quarantine, and that's really important to me. Why is consistency so important? Well, you know what to do, you know how to do it, and what the expectations are without things changing when we end up in quarantine. It's important to me you know how class works and things don't change on you. Change is happening all around us with coronavirus, and isn't it nice to have something that's stable? A second advantage is that it gives you, the student, the ability to rewind or rewatch if needed, especially if going through an example. The third thing is freedom. You have the ability to watch or work on things at 1:30 in the morning, if you want, and get the same instruction and explanation as someone who is in class. This also helps when sick or absent because you don't ever really miss anything. Another advantage is that I can control how long these videos are. In class, instructions can take up to 40 minutes. Filming allows me to shorten or cut things out. And last, in class, I have to talk in a mask, making me harder to hear. As you watch this, my voice is crystal clear in Dolby 7.1 surround sound directly beamed into your ear. So here's some expectations. First and foremost deals with questions. Just because you're in class watching this or other videos doesn't mean you won't have questions. Please, please, please always ask questions. If you don't, I'm walking around all day with nothing to do, literally bored. With you guys watching these, I'm not really teaching in front of you. It means I'm just sitting there with nothing to do. Please, if you have any questions, call me over. We're all going through a lot to be here. We're wearing masks for 8 hours a day, dealing with one-way hallways, sanitizing seats. We all have a confusing bell schedule. Please make the time that we are here worth it by asking questions and getting help. Otherwise, why are we here? Same goes for if we're online or at home only. Please message me in Empower anytime you have a question or email me at the email listed, tpolano@mywps.org. That's tpullano@mywps.org. If you're in class, please, please, please use class time to work. This prevents you having extra work outside of class. Avoid distractions like email, Facebook, or YouTube. Think about it. Listening to YouTube or music while watching this video? Yeah, pretty unproductive and pointless. Staying on task while on a computer has always been the hardest thing for students. Use the time we have well so that we can keep up and avoid work outside of class times. Here's some last-minute housekeeping things. Understand that this U.S. history class has 14 learning targets. You'll be assigned around 2 to 3 assignments per learning target. No extra work or busy work. Everything assigned is going to serve a purpose and help you pass the class with no extra stuff in between. Some of these assignments will be longer, extended projects, like the one that we're going to go through next, or short assignments that should take 30 to 60 minutes, if even that. A question that you might have is, why are we doing about 3 items per target? And that's a great question. Imagine that you have a quiver of arrows. This, by the way, is what a quiver looks like. The quiver has 3 arrows in this example. If you hit a target 50 feet away with 1 arrow, are you lucky or skilled? In my mind as a teacher, you're more lucky. What if we change the situation, and the second time you try, you hit the target with 2 out of the 3 arrows? Are you lucky or proficient? As a teacher, I start to think, well, you're probably pretty proficient. If I were to give you 10 arrows instead of 3, you might hit the target around 5 or 6 times. Finally, if we change this example again, what if you hit the target with all 3 arrows? Are you proficient or have you mastered hitting the target? And this sort of philosophy is what's going to drive the class and grading in the class. Just because you complete one assignment that hits the learning target doesn't mean that you're passing the class. You have to be able to demonstrate that you can do it proficiently.